Everybody, and welcome to week 4 of RHC 133 academic research. So far this semester in week 1, you started to get used to the idea of, contextualizing your argument with the words of other people through the they say, I say technique, and you learned how to summarize while also using your own voice. In week 2, you began to think about what you want to work on for your final project in this class, and you did a topic proposal, as you can see here. And then you also started to think about summarizing opposing viewpoints and then taking a stance between them, and how to appropriately look at research and give each version of research a fair shake, even if you'd agree more with one or the other. Then finally this week, or the last week, what you've been working on is your annotated bibliography, finding sources that address the research that you want to complete, taking notes on those resources, and then summarizing those resources in your annotated bibliography assignment. So this week, we are finally moving on to actually starting to write your paper, and you will be completing a first draft of your paper, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment. But let's look at our checklist for this week to see what's expected of us as we go through the course materials in week 4. So, as you can see, the main concern that we're working on this week is drafting. So there's actually going to be a lot less individual assignments that you have to complete, and you're going to be focused much more on trying to think about the way that you're using your source material and actually just going ahead and getting some information down about your final project. So here, you're going to be skimming 2 chapters. The reason that I said skim, I don't really want you to get bogged down in the arguments of these 2 chapters, meaning I don't want you to spend a significant amount of time reading. But these chapters have significant resources, especially chapter 7 is going to particularly help you on your introduction and your conclusion in articulating like the stakes or the so what of your argument. And then chapter 8 is going to help you in your body paragraphs on trying to make sure that you're connecting your sentences and ideas through strong transitions and different kinds of signaling words. After you do those 2 things, you're going to be watching the week 4 lecture, which is going to be uploaded after I upload this video. And then finally, you're going to complete the week 4 draft. And that week 4 draft is, I'm going to look at the instructions with you in just a moment for that. That's going to be a 5-page draft that you're completing this week. And of course, you've got your weekly writing journal, which is a short reflection on what you have accomplished this week. Okay, so let's go back to our main page so we can see where some good resources are to help you with this week. So as you can see, your readings are under the Readings tab right here. You've got chapter 7 and 8 to skim through, or at least to use as resources. In the lecture, I'm going to go through these resources here. Basically, I'm teaching you how to create an outline that's going to help you to be successful on this paper. And then these are 2 methods of argumentation. What's the same method, but 2 sources for this method of argumentation that if you get stuck might be helpful for you to use. And then finally, of course, you've got your journal and the first draft. But let's look at the instructions for the first draft. So you can see that you're going to begin drafting your research paper. There's a template that I want you to use, so please be sure to download this template and fill in and replace the information that you need. And out of the 8 to 10 required pages on the final draft of this paper, this week you are going to be including 5 fully double-spaced pages, right? So this means like all the way top to bottom, you're going to have at least 5 pages. If you want to try to do a complete draft, I would actually recommend that. I think that that might be a way to get you ahead in the course, and it will give you so much less work as you move into future weeks. So as we kind of go through the lecture in just a moment, keep in mind that the more work that you do now, or the more work that you can do now, the less work that you're going to have to do in the future. So normally I require a full draft whenever I require a draft, but since you only have a week to do this, I think 5 full double-spaced pages is the most that I can ask you to do without overburdening you. And I think even that is going to be a challenge. So you can see the template here. I want you to be using this template. You're going to put your own information into it, and I'll go into more detail of this in the lecture. And then for the rubric, you can see that you need to have at least 5 pages. You need to at least introduce some evidence from the sources that you found for your annotated bibliography. You're going to be writing an argumentative paper, right? So this pertains to the feedback that I gave you on your topic your topic proposals, where some of them were just informative and not argumentative. So you need to make sure that your paper is taking a stance that somebody could argue with. And then finally, I put artist, I meant author here. You're going to structure your argument across multiple paragraphs and link your ideas using transition words and the templates that were in the 2 chapters. So in other words, you're not just listing a bunch of information. You're building an argument brick by brick. And then finally, of course, using the template and writing free of grammatical and syntactical error is the final category that's on almost every assignment. So in sum, this week you're going to be skimming a couple of chapters. Oh, I meant to go home. Skimming a couple of chapters. You're going to be looking at how to outline and how to get started on your research paper in the lecture today. And then in the draft, you're going to be turning that in by the end of the week alongside your writing journal. This week is going to be the hardest week that you've had so far in this course. But if you pay attention and really take your time, then you're going to have a much easier time throughout the rest of the course. But that also means that you might need my help. So please do not hesitate to reach out to me via email or to set up an office hours link under the Getting Started page up here where it says office hours link. Don't be afraid to set up a meeting with me so that we can chat and I can help you as you go throughout, as you kind of explore creating your paper. So I really look forward to seeing what you come up with this week, but please let me know if you have any questions or concerns.